What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for being here. If you're a subscriber, thanks for coming back. Today, I have a super special episode for you guys. I am in sunny Northern California with Austin, what would you call yourself, of Electro & Co? Founder of Electro & Co. We're going to go over this Extreme Kit with you guys, what it is, what it includes, what you can buy to accommodate the kit as a whole. First thing we're going to do is start off with the charger, and we're going to go down this line here, and we're going to describe the part, the improvements that were made to these parts, a little bit of the numbers that go along with it, and just kind of give you some information that you might not otherwise know. So starting with the charger, this is a new charger for this battery, right?
That is correct. So with the new batteries that are stainless steel, we bumped it up one series group. So this is an 88 volt at full charge, 88.2 technically. So it's a 76 volt nominal over a traditional 72 volt battery. So just get a little bit more juice out of that.
Okay.
And then with that, we've bumped it up to a 5 amp charger now instead of a standard 3 amp. Nice aluminum case.
Yeah.
And with that, we have a charging port that allows you to use your stock side panels, so that way you can maintain that stock battery faux cover and keep it all nice and tight.
Yeah, keep it looking stock.
Exactly. And then we have this XLR adapter for the charger that allows you to use that same stock charge port and keep that stock look, as you said.
And one thing I noticed about this battery is on this connection, you got the XT60. So if you're running no covers, you just want to run the battery by itself, you know, open, you can just run this XT60 directly to the battery and eliminate this.
No need for that. Exactly.
So this is like your option if you're running plastics with the stock look. And then if you don't, you have this option too, directly to the battery.
Exactly.
Easy peasy. And then with the battery, you mentioned a little bit about the numbers, but what else is different about this battery aside from the aluminum or the stainless case? Stainless case, right? It's sealed.
Yeah, so these are 76 volt instead of 72, as I said earlier. That's one of the biggest changes. So inside of this is the pack is sealed inside, and then the actual stainless steel itself is also sealed. So you have 2 layers of protection there to keep moisture out. I wouldn't say that they have a waterproof rating, but they are splash proof. You can ride in light rain, you can ride through the mud, you can go through a creek crossing. Same thing with the motor. Motor's also splash proof. So we try to do our best to make the bike durable and able to ride in all situations, because it is technically a dirt bike. By the time we're done with it, I feel like it's a real dirt bike. And that's one of the most important aspects, is that it has to be able to ride out in nature, and nature gets wet. So
what good is it if it can't get a little bit wet?
Totally.
So the battery, these come in several sizes. This one specifically fits the 500.
Yeah. So
on the website, you have other sizes, right? If you wanted to delve into other batteries for other applications.
That's correct. So this whole lineup starts at 70, or actually a 52 volt 20 amp hour. Then there's 76 volt 20 amp hour, 76 volt 24 amp hour. That's about where it stops for razors.
Yeah. Something else we're looking at here is the EC4P. The EC4P is a V2 version.
A V2 version.
Go over a little bit about V1 versus V2, the things that were changed, and kind of where we are with V2 lead times if people are ordering, or at the time of filming this, what does it take to get one? How long is it out?
Sure. So right now, everything that ships with an EC4P, or if you order an EC4P just by itself on the website, if they show in stock, they are actually in stock, meaning we have the physical motors in our hands. They ship out within 48 hours typically. 48 business hours. Obviously, we don't work on the weekends. We're out riding and stuff. So if you order one, they ship right away. Some differences, I suppose, because I know a lot of people are curious about the difference between V1 and V2. Truly, there is no internal difference. All we really did with this is beef up the end caps in order to accommodate the jerking of the chain that was happening with some freewheels and other things. And we felt it was necessary after a couple of failures on the original design to
so you saw the weakness in those particular instances, and you improved on it, and then that's what we have. So all the motors going out now are all EC4Ps with the upgraded end caps.
That is correct.
Cool. So if people watching this have a V1 and they end up needing V2 end caps, what's the best way for them to contact you, or what's the process?
You can reach out via email if you have any problem with the V1 in any way, or any of the EC4P motors at all. You can reach out, and we're happy to take care of you. The V2 end caps we're doing at no charge to the customer. We understand we don't want people to feel like they missed out
Yeah.
on the V2, and so we're happy to accommodate that.
Cool.
No problem.
And then as far as fitment goes, this is going to bolt into the 500 and the 650s. But if you wanted to run your RSF wheels, you might have to take a little flapper disc and make some space on this backside.
That is
that wheel.
That is correct. Yeah, and so you'll see here that we have fins on the back, and the RSF wheels are a little bit larger in diameter than the dirt wheels. So because of that, there's not enough clearance. And the reason that we can't make it to have clearance is because we prioritize cooling over everything. And this is an extruded design. And so it comes out in one piece. So we're not able to make a divot here. But if you did want to run RSF wheels, it's very simple. You can just take a flap wheel and just skim a little bit out of there where the tire goes, and you'll have no problem making clearance. You don't have to get that deep in there either. It's just a little bit.
Yeah, I had to do that on mine. It was no problem. What I ended up doing is I just kind of measured out from the side.
Totally.
And then I put some blue tape on there, and then I just took my flapper grinder wheel and just touched it lightly until I got a little bit of a divot.
Yep.
And then everything just was perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
So it didn't hurt the motor or the structural integrity of it or the cooling abilities at all. And it's also worth mentioning too that this motor is equipped with holes in the top so that you can fit cooling fans if you so desire, and I think there's even some on the bottom.
That is correct.
So if you wanted to run fans on this motor and wire them to a switch or a thermostat, you could bolt them right in here. The holes are already threaded top and bottom. So also included in the kit is going to be the TruMoto controller. This controller is proprietary to Electro & Co. Y'all designed this, you've tested it, R&D'd it, you guys are having it made solely for you. It's not coming from another company or anything like that. Tell us a little bit about the controller, what's special about it. I've seen the app on this thing. It looks phenomenal. What is it about this controller that you guys are so excited about?
Controllers it's a long-winded subject, so I'll try and keep it short. There's so many shortcomings with other controllers on the market. Usually when you buy a controller, it's a universal controller that, you know, and they're designed for industrial applications more often than not. So like we like to joke and say that like, oh, that's a repurposed forklift controller, because they really are.
Or a fan motor controller or something like that, industrial use.
Absolutely. And so and they have certain limitations that are not conducive to pit bikes. And that they're various. But with this, we were able to take full control. This is a ground up design. We have our own in-house electrical engineer, and we have our own in-house software engineer that help us write the app and get the software right inside the controller's brain as well. And so this is something that, as you mentioned, does not come from anywhere else. It comes from...
It's not a rebranded QS or a far driver
like or anything of that nature. No, it's really a ground up circuit board build.
Nice.
Power stage, all that, et cetera, et cetera. So what's really exciting about it is that it's super small. So this is a 14 plus kilowatt controller. It fits in the palm of my hand. And this is huge because like when we made pit bikes, obviously it's got to be small to fit inside the Razor. But when we made pit bikes, in order to fit a 14 kilowatt controller, it was like taking up the entire rear subframe of our bikes, to where it was actually causing wheel clearance problems and all kinds of stuff.
Have you seen how big the 72 volt Beaver controllers are? They're like a yardstick long, bro. They stick out the back. They're so big.
So we were able to pack a huge amount of power into a tiny little case here. Truly, the ride feel, the control, the adjustability, everything is totally contoured to pit bikes, and to make it as user-friendly and rider-friendly as possible. We want you to feel, I want the bike to disappear, and we want the rider to just feel like they're flying. And in order to do that, it has to be extremely precise. It has to do exactly what you expect it to do. And I feel like we really nailed it after a long time of working on this. And we're just really excited about it. And I think later we can go over and show you guys some of what the app looks like, because that's a really exciting part of this. Really easy adjustability. You don't have to understand anything. It's very
super user friendly.
Exactly. You don't have to know
anything. It gives
anything.
you the information that people that like me, I'm not super technical. I don't want to know all the information, but there's just a few things that I do want to know that the app is very, very intuitive with. To the controller, you also did something else to the inside of the controller. It's filled with an epoxy or something like that helps with the cooling. So they're inside the controller is filled all the way to the top with thermally conductive potting compound.
This makes it basically completely waterproof. No rating yet again. We're not going and getting tests and getting IP ratings and stuff. But I would never submarine my bike, but this is probably one of the most waterproof parts because it's completely encased in epoxy, and that protects this very valuable, expensive part from damage.
Right on.
And it increases the thermal performance, allowing to get heat from the MOSFETs, which are buried on the power stage, out from and conduct that heat all the way around and get it to the heatsink. Mm-hmm.
Right on. So from here, the kit comes with these leads. These leads are going to go. Let's go to your controller, and then this is where the battery gives the controller its power, and that comes with the
comes with
the kit.
Comes with XT90 connectors.
Cool. The controllers are going to be wired for your switches.
Yes.
And your throttle.
Yes.
One thing worth mentioning is with your switches, you can elect to either get a keyed on-off ignition switch with a voltmeter, or you can get the on-off switch by itself with no key and a voltmeter
separately.
So in the drop down, when you go to order your part or your throttle, you can choose what you like there, right?
That is correct. So, and the idea with that is if you're a street rider, or if you're commuting, or you're leaving your bike outside a coffee shop, you might want a key. If you're a moto guy, that's going to get in the way of your knee.
True.
So and that's why we have both choices.
Yeah. Wow. That's good thinking. And then with this kit, depending on your gearing, you're going to be going 50, 60 miles an hour, depending on your gearing.
Stock gear ratio, if you just bolt this in, use the 11-tooth sprocket and run our 72-tooth ultralight chain kit with it, you're going to get 60 out of the box.
Yeah.
If you run our higher tooth count sprockets, you can go over 70.
Mm-hmm.
The exact number is dependent on the rider weight and stuff like that, but you're for sure getting 60, and then you're at 70 and some change.
After that, it just kind of depends.
It kind of depends on what kind of tire and
rider weight,
a couple of miles an hour,
going up a hill or whatever. With that extra speed, you're probably going to want to upgrade your brakes.
Absolutely.
Right. If you're running this kit and you're running stock brakes, I don't know what this, rest in peace. But
absolutely,
your brake kit you can buy on your website also, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So we provide two different brake kits. They both work very well. There's a 2-piston and a 4-piston setup. This right here in front of us is a 4-piston. They come with the rotors. They're a direct bolt-on. They also come with these spacers. I'd like to mention this because sometimes people will email us and ask about how come it's not fitting right, and that's because you need to use these spacers in order to space out the caliper on the bracket in order to get it to fit right. Not always. It depends on the bike. Each one of them is a little bit different, but we do provide that so that way you can space them out and get it right.
So one thing I did want to mention really quick with the Sprocket and Chain Kit, when you go to order the sprocket, the motor's going to have a sprocket on it, or no?
That's correct. It comes with an 11-tooth sprocket, which is what we recommend. That's already 60.
That's
plenty
of
torque, keeps the motor heat low, et cetera, et cetera.
There's other options for front sprockets if you so elect to do that.
That is correct. If you buy the chain kit with the ultralight chain kit, you can have an 11, 12, or 13. Obviously, this comes with an 11, so you would want a 12 or a 13. You can even go 10, but with this kit, it runs out too fast and it gets almost too torquey. So I wouldn't recommend a 10 on this kit. I would say 11 or 12 is the best.
Yeah. And with the chain, when it comes with the kit, the chain is going to come at a length not specific to the ratio that you have. So what I mean by that is you're going to get a length of chain and install your sprockets, and you're going to have to break your own chain. Now with the chain brake, super easy. This is a chain brake right here. You can just lay the chain on your sprockets, break your chain, put it wherever you need it. And this Electro Company does not sell this, but you can buy this on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description for the chain brake if you guys need it. I use this personally. Super easy to do, no biggie. Well, you want to ride?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Yeah, you guys are super fast on these things.
It's all good.
I can't keep up. I can't keep up.
6 inches off of that thing. More capable than I am. I'm trying to go up the hill and it's like lifting the front. So